from a bloke who does some work with Radio 5 Live, who's apparently of Sri Lankan extraction heritage, has said that, you know, he goes to the Peak District, he doesn't see very many brown faces there, and he says it's because the British countryside is considered to be white and middle class. I think it's a load of old cobblers.
Well, interesting. I mean, I read that. Your producer sent me the link to that article, and I read it. And in fairness to the presenter, he had a great time. He said I was made to feel welcome. But the point he was making was it was the perception that he'd been fed, that the countryside was white and unwelcoming to people who weren't white. And in fact, I remember very well, and I think it was 2019, the chief executive of a Lake District.
I remember this, yeah.
Oh yeah, he said that. I think, to quote, the Lake District was deficient in young people, black and ethnic communities, and those who were less able in terms of mobility.
Yeah.
Which the last point you can only laugh at. If you're struggling with mobility, it may not be the place for you to climb up a large peak in the Lake District. But this is what, you know. It's a matter of choice, isn't it? It's a free country.
Yeah.
And this is what's so absurd. And yet, by saying things like that, the man who made those comments, Richard Leaf, by making those comments, you do deter people from perhaps who are you know, they're unfamiliar with the countryside, and it's always a little bit challenging to go into a new environment. But by making those comments with based on no hard evidence, just his own perception, you do create a feeling of intimidation.
Yeah.
So good to, I think, Nihal, the presenter, who went to the countryside and found he loved it. And again, Mike, this is it. It's woke propaganda that likes to portray.
Yeah, but he doesn't. But again, he doesn't say where he got that impression from. Maybe it was from the guy who was in the Lake District who was giving that impression. But you know, nobody sensible would ever give that impression, because why would you? You know, it's completely irrelevant. You know, it's like going. You know, it's like going to the zoo and saying, you know, I didn't see any tigers. Well, maybe there aren't any tigers there today. I don't know. Maybe the tigers have been given a day off. You don't go around telling everybody that if you go to a zoo, you won't see any tigers. That's the impression I got.
No, he said that he'd seen these comments about it being unwelcoming. I think social media trolls, he said. But these social media trolls are the anti-British brigade who love to run down the country.
Well, maybe get off social media and
exactly.
Go to the Lake District once in a while.
Oh, which is what he did, and he had a great time. So hopefully, you know, this will encourage other people who don't normally go to the countryside to go there. And like him, you're going to have a great time. I was down in the Pyrenees, actually, Mike, last week, doing some hiking. I'm a bit of a hiker. I've been to the Lake District many times. And there's a camaraderie whenever you go on these trails, regardless of where you're from, your sex, your age, your ethnicity. There's a camaraderie there, which makes it so enjoyable. So I urge everyone, whatever your background, to get out, do some exercise, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah. Okay.